Hello guys, this is Joseph. I'm going to show you how to fill traversing Bss N6. Let's take this one as question 1. Traversing Bss N6 in an exam, it can come in this form whereby you are given the direction and distance and the coordinates of your starting point, which is A, and the coordinates of your last point, which is E. You see, so another form, it can come in this form whereby they wrote those things like given the following data coordinates, the starting point is A and the last point is E, the line A to B, B to C, and C to D, D to E, direction and the distance. But now we're going to do this one. So when you come across something like this, first thing first that you need to remember is that when we deal about with changing y, we are going to say s times sine theta. Then changing x is going to be s multiplied by cos theta, whereby s is our distance and sine is the sine, theta is the angle, which is this one, the direction. You get it? So in order to find these ones, we are going to check this one s, which is 137. Punch it on a calculator. It's 137 multiplied by sine angle is 209 degrees 47 minutes 34 seconds. It gives us negative 68. I'm going to write it here, which is negative 68.07. Make sure here that you convert your answers into 2 decimal places every time. Make sure that you convert your answers into 2 decimal places. Don't convert into 2 decimal places here, then when you come here you change it and convert into 3 decimal places. It won't balance. Your answer will be wrong at the end. So we check for changing x, whereby you're going to say the same thing, but using cos, we're going to say 137.78 cos theta, which is 209 degrees 47 minutes 34 seconds, close bracket, give me negative 119.57. You see, we're going to do the very same thing over and over again until here. Sure. Okay, I did the very same thing here, whereby I typed the s sine theta and the s cos theta. Then I get these answers, until here, go C3. Then the next step is to add the totals. You see this bold line. After this bold line, it means totals, and totals, like the sum of all the distance here. Here it's going to be the sum of the distances, and here it's going to be the sum of the coordinates. The first distance we have, it's 137.78 plus 75.36 meter plus 280.46 meter plus 181.70 meter, and the answer is 675.30 meter. It's 675.30 meter. All right, so I'm going to add the distance. I'm going to get the total of this change in y, which is the negative 68.07 plus, you see, when I add the totals, I'm also using the sign. Don't forget to put the sign when you fill up this form. The signs are important in every step you are taking. When it's a positive number, don't forget to put the plus. When it's negative, don't forget to put the negative every time. 60.43 plus 276.75 minus 102.07 give me plus 167.04. These totals are going to help us in a Bowditch rule, especially this one, the distance and the closing error. So let me get the sum of this one. It's negative 119.57 minus 45.03 minus 45.45 minus 150.32. I got negative 360.37. It's the sum of change in x. So the next step is to check the difference between the last point, the last coordinate, and the first point, which is our first coordinate. Right, we're going to take this one, subtract that one, the bottom one, subtract the top one, then the answer we're going to put it here. Okay, and then we're going to take this one and subtract that one, this one and subtract that one, in order to find the difference between the two coordinates. So we're going to say 4296, okay, which is this one, minus this one here at the top, 4049.94 is positive 246.06. Then again in x, I'm going to do the very same thing, which is 6383.32 minus 6803.68. It's a negative answer, which is negative 420.36. This this is the change of these two. So the next step, you take this one and put it here, take this one and put it here. You take this one, the y, put it under the sum of the change in y, whereby I'm going to say plus 246.06. This side I'm going to say minus 420.36. Then the next step, I'm going to calculate the closing error. The closing error. So I'm going to check for a change between the two coordinates. The change, I'm going to say 246. It's always the bottom subtract the top, the bottom subtract the top, the bottom subtract the top. Just like here, it was the bottom subtract the top, bottom subtract the top. Even here we're going to say this very same thing. We're going to do the very same thing, the bottom subtract the top. So I'm going to say 246.06 minus 167.04. The answer is 79.02. Hey, it's a big one. Okay, the answer is positive 79.02. Then again here, it's going to be negative 420.36 minus, which means when a negative subtract a negative, the sign changes into a positive. It's going to be plus 360.37, which is negative 59.99. This one is our closing error. And here is the very same thing, So now we're going to use the Bowditch rule to calculate the closing error of each point. The closing error for each point, whereby the Bowditch rule, it's like distance. It says distance over total distance multiplied by closing error. So this one here, from here, a distance is this one for point A. Let me make for point A. For point A, the distance is 137.78 meter over total distance, which is 675.3 meter, multiplied by a closing error. The closing error is this one for change in y, and the closing error for change in x is this one. So I'm going to multiply by 79.02 first. Then let me check my answer. 137.78 over 675.3 multiplied by 79.02. It's 16.12. I'm going to write it here. 16.12. 0.12 exactly down here. Then I'm going to do the very same thing over and over again until 2.C3. So yep, and the distance of point C1. Okay, let's go to C1. The distance of point C1 is 75.36 over 675.3 multiplied by the same closing error 79.02 is equal to what? 75.36. It's 8.81. or it's 8.82 because we're converting into two decimal places. So it's 8, which is positive 0.82. I'm going to do the very same thing with point C2. Point C2 is 280.46 meter over the total distance. That gives me 32.82. Then point C3 is the same thing. Gonna do the same thing again. 181.70. This is 7, alright. Going to give me 21.6 ish, 21.26, right? Meet. Then we go to point A again when it comes to changing x. This one, it's going to be the distance again, closing error. We're going to use the same Bowdish rule, but the only thing that is going to change is the closing error. We're going to use this one this time around, because when it comes to changing y, we used this one, but in changing x, we're going to use this one. So point A again is going to be 137.78 over 675.3. does not change. The distance over total distance multiply the closing error is this one this time, which is negative, don't forget the sign, negative 59.99. then our answer 137.78 over 675.3 multiplied by negative 59.99 is negative 12.24. I'm going to write negative 12 here, 0.24. And then for C1, the very same thing I did from A, which is going to be distance. My distance is 120. It's not 120, it's 75. Distance is 75.36 over total distance, which is 6 something 75.36. let me write it, over 675.3 multiplied by negative 59.99, which is equal to negative 6.69. Negative 6.69. Then we're going to do the very same thing over and over again. So we are done with finding the dosing error of each point. We are going to add the next step. We're going to add this one and put it here, add this one and put it here and our x. The change in x with the closing error and put it here exactly on that line. Let's go. It's going to be, oh, forgot to put this sign here. It's going to be negative 68.07 plus 16.12, which gave me negative 51.95. This one is the correct coordinate of y. This one is the correct coordinate of y, which is negative 51.95. So, and then again we're going to do the very same thing, negative 119.57 minus 12.24. It's going to be negative 131.81, which means that this one is the correct coordinate of x, not negative 19 something something. Okay, we proceed. Going to check. This one is 60.43 plus 8.82. It's 69 positive 69.25. This and this, negative 45.03 minus 6.69, negative 51.72. Then we are going to do the very same thing until the end. Okay, it's going to be 2. Let me do it with 276.75. Forgot to put the sign here. Always put the sign, guys. Plus 32.82. It's positive 309.57. Again, the very same thing, negative 24.91. Oops, sorry, it's negative 45.45 minus 24.91. all right, negative 70.36. We proceed to the last one, which is C3. It's negative negative 102.07. Forgot to put the sign, plus 21.26. The answer is negative 80.81. The next one is negative 150.32 minus 16.14. The answer is negative 166.46. Okay, let's recap. The first step, you calculate your change in y and change in x coordinate. whereby you are going to use this one. S is the distance multiplied by sine theta, which is theta is your direction. It's distance, direction. Okay, then after calculating these things, you calculate your total. You go for your total distance. You add your distances, distance. We use this total distance to calculate our closing errors. We use our distances to calculate closing errors. Okay guys, this is it for today. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Bye.